Welcome to Tailboard Talk, a fourth shift fitcast. The mission of Tailboard Talk and the fourth shift fitness is to educate and train fire service personnel to increase durability and decrease the potential for injuries and their associated costs. My name is Chris Morella, owner and founder of Fourth Shift Fitness. I'll use my experience as a personal trainer, strength coach, and 15-year veteran of the fire service to deliver tips, tricks, lessons, and information specifically geared towards the health and wellness of firefighters and paramedics. Each episode, you'll leave with immediate deliverables that will improve performance and resilience and keep you in the fight through your career and into retirement. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome to Tailboard Talk. This is Chris from Fourth Shift Fitness, and I'm here with Katie. I put applause in there. I think it went through. I should have taken my headphones out. Found out I have sound effects on my little recorder thing, and here's a fun story. Today, I put Nathan down for a nap, and recently he's been stripping all of his clothes off and then yelling, "I gotta go to the bathroom," kind of crying wolf. Except for today, he did go to the bathroom. He went number 2 on the floor. You can't hear that sound effect, but it was a sad trombone. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about holiday stuff because it's holiday season, and this was a learning curve for Katie and I. It was a learning curve when we were dating, and then through getting married, and then having dogs, and now having kids. The different seasons of our lives have brought different constraints and obligations and feelings about the whole thing. In the beginning, it was very much go to work and make that money and get that holiday pay and overtime, and then kind of slowly turned into no, I'd rather have you here at home, so don't work overtime, see if you can get the day off. So things change, but what I want to talk about today was kind of lessons that we've learned together navigating the holidays. Katie, of course, has a list of things. I have not very many things because my brother's older than me. He was a firefighter before me, so that naturally threw our holidays off. My parents live about 3 hours away. My brother lives about an hour away, so holidays were never on the holiday. To celebrate Christmas or any holiday, our birthdays, anything, a week late would be no big deal because we would just figure it out. We would get all our schedules together and figure out when the best time to get together was, and that was the holiday. So that was never a big shock for me. Katie was different. She always celebrated on the day with big-time productions, depending on the day. And so that was something that we had to adjust to, me being very nonchalant about the holidays and her family not really understanding that approach, as it was just no big deal to me, but bigger deal to them. So we're going to go over her list first of things that she's learned in dating a hero. Wow. Get back on the microphone. Get back here.
I can't even with that.
Okay. All right, sorry. Dating a hero. Let me finish.
I'm gonna take that out.
Okay. All right. A little much. It's disrespectful now.
I'm tired.
It's disrespectful.
That was just funny.
God. Anyways, honey.
I'm crying now.
Yeah, me too. Grab your list and kick it off, girl. Tell me, run through your list. You had some good ones about stuff we've learned from the holidays.
Okay. So my first one was, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to that comment.
Yeah.
No, it's okay to say no to things you don't want to go to, or it's going to cause more stress and anxiety than fun.
Yeah.
So I think it's totally fine to say no, decline invitations, to, keep your mental health in check before anything else, and your time. I mean, your time is precious, and I don't want to go to something because I feel obligated to go to it, and then you just go and you maybe spend money on an outfit, or...
Who does?
Not you.
Spend money on my outfits.
Well, then you go to a party, you want to look nice, or you have an event to go to for your work, whatever the case may be. You don't want to go to something if you feel obligated to it. And same thing with family stuff. Sometimes family things can be more obligated and more anxiety inducing than they should be.
Yeah.
And that's not fun. And I think this past couple of years has taught us that kind of time is precious, so we don't have to, have everything revolve around the holidays and one specific time, and it's okay to say no to this and yes to something else and not worry about it.
That was what we learned last year, right? Was the holiday thing. Mm-hmm. It was kind of an issue.
Well, we were just kind of in flux last year because you had just gotten over COVID. Your brother's family was getting over. I can't remember if they had it or were just sick or.
They were, I don't know.
I can't remember. I think they were just sick.
Yeah.
Having a cold, and then they were just keeping their distance.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to do Thanksgiving with them last year because your parents were gone, and we held off on that. Mm-hmm. And then we were in flux about going out to your parents' house for Christmas because they had been traveling. We had Nathan.
Mm-hmm. And then we said no.
And I was pregnant
mm-hmm.
at that time.
But yeah, but us saying no was like a thing. Mm-hmm. Like my parents didn't like that because they missed Thanksgiving because they were out of town, and then they came back and they were like, "All right, let's pick up where we left off." And we were getting slammed at work with COVID stuff. Like you said, I just got over being sick. We had Nathan. You were pregnant, and it was like, man, we just got through this major thing with a lot of unknown. I'd rather not go hang out with my own family who was potentially still sick or my parents who were just traveling, and that was a big disconnect. And I remember that was like several phone calls. We didn't have to like patch up anything, but it was I felt like we did a lot of justifying and explaining, which was a bummer because we probably didn't need to. I mean, I think after the first phone call, my parents understood and they were pretty fine with it. Brother and his family were fine with it. But I felt like I needed to justify that a lot more probably because that was a lesson we learned. Was because my parents live 3 hours away, my brother lives an hour away, we didn't get together that much. And so after that, we were like, man, if we're getting together that infrequently, that one day, not being able to go to dinner one day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is going to throw this much of a wrench in the works, then that's obviously a sign that we're not getting together enough because it should just be like, well, if we don't see you this weekend, or you can't come over for this holiday, no big deal because we'll see you in 2 weeks when we normally see you. But that wasn't the case. We were seeing each other pretty sporadically, just probably my parents, probably less than 10 times a year, I would guess.
No, I don't think it was that little.
Once a month?
I think, for a while, we were trying to going out to your parents' house like every other month.
Yeah.
And before Nathan, it was a nice little, like, just time away. Because, I mean, to backpedal a little bit, your parents live in a kind of a little bit of a weekend getaway spot. So for us, before Nathan, it was fun to go out there and spend the weekend out there and, do all the touristy things.
Yeah. But I think that was the first time we said no to something that seemingly that big, which really it shouldn't have been that big.
Well, and I think it was a bigger deal because it fell in a time when you and your brother were both off on the actual holiday.
Oh, I remember that.
So it was actually on Christmas. You both were off.
Yeah.
So I could see from a parent perspective, like your mom, like, my boys are off, like, let's do this. Because, I mean, the last time we got together with everyone on the actual holiday was probably 5 years ago. It was like when you and Joe actually had the day off at the same time. And I think, too, the other, not maybe disconnect, is you and Joe work together at the same, department. So you probably see each other more frequently and, text more frequently than everyone else.
Yeah.
So you guys not getting together is no big deal because you talk way more frequently than the rest of us do.
Yeah. But we made it up. Went out there eventually, right? I think. I can't remember when we started getting back together with everybody after last year.
No, because your parents were home for Christmas and then they were back down to the condo and then we had Sawyer.
Yeah.
So we haven't been out there since July.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing going on out there.
No. Anyways.
There's nothing happening.
Long story, boring.
Yeah. But we did turn that into a good Christmas then. I'm not sure what my mom was more upset about, that we didn't go out there and see them all on Christmas, or told we were making gourmet tacos, and the thought of making tacos on Christmas blew her mind. So we made tacos, we made Mexican meatballs, and we made...
I think she's probably more disappointed not seeing Nathan stomp around in his little monster slippers.
Peeing off the deck and stuff. All right, so that was a good lesson, though, that we should have, and we did since, actually. Compared to, it's funny, even with COVID kind of waning and coming back, I feel like we've seen them more than we did in the years before that whole thing, just because we made it kind of more of a point. We definitely do more FaceTime and stuff now. That's way more frequent.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So yeah, we made definitely an effort after that to say, like, all right, if we're not able to go out and see people or whatever, we're gonna make an effort to keep in contact so that one day doesn't ruin relationships or something like that.
Well, and the other big thing too is your mom started texting.
That was giant.
So my mom's always been a texter, but your mom finally started texting and stopped emailing.
Started texting. We got them both frames that we could send pictures to.
Mm-hmm.
We're way more in touch now.
Yeah.
So yeah, not making a dinner is far less of a thing than it used to be. All right, what's your second thing on your list?
Well, my second thing kind of went hand in hand with, like, not doing or going anywhere is totally okay. Like, if you just want to stay home with your immediate people and enjoy the day or enjoy festivities, it's totally okay. Like, last Christmas was probably one of my favorite Christmases, not only because Nathan, like, knew what was going on and really kind of got into the present opening and the doing of things, but there was none of this, like, hustle and bustle to get through our morning to go on to the next event.
Yeah.
It was, we got to really enjoy the holiday. And because really before last year, I don't know the last time you were actually off on Christmas Day or
I have no idea.
Like a Thanksgiving Day. I mean, pretty much Nathan's whole first year, you worked every holiday.
Yeah, but he didn't pay attention.
No, but I just mean...
Yeah. And I appreciate that in general too. Like, we've talked about this before. There's the kind of the feeling that when you go to work and you're working at a fire station, you're around 5 other people that are probably your friends. You probably get along with most of them. And so there's this air of like, oh, you're just going to hang out with your friends for a day and it'll be fun and you'll have your holiday meal there and you might be busy at night, but no big deal. In reality, you're with 5 other people for 24 hours. So leaving that environment and then being sleep deprived or just stressed out or even just fine, even if you sleep all night, going from that environment to going to 2 different families' houses and getting the same questions over and over again, or just existing around more people can be kind of stressful. So I like that advice in general. Like, if it's after 3:00 in the afternoon, we're probably not leaving the house. And on holidays, it just makes it even more special because you get to not share your time then with somebody, with a group of other people. And yeah, that was a great time because we did presents whenever, and then stretched that till lunchtime pretty much.
Well, he's a slowpoke, so that lasted pretty much all day. And not even because he got a lot of stuff, just because it was everything he opened he needed to play with immediately.
Well, and then we turned everything we made into an event too. Like, he was able to help and do stuff because it wasn't an operation of like expediency of getting the stuff done so we could take it somewhere.
Right.
It was like, this is the event. Like, we're cooking stuff and then we're going to eat it.
No,
and
he had a blast. He got to wear his pajamas all day.
Yeah.
He got to play with all these toys.
And that was nice. It wasn't, it was far less mechanical than a typical holiday because we were making stuff that we were going to get to eat and not hurrying up to get it in a Tupperware to take somewhere else.
Or hurrying up to, like, get through opening presents because people were coming over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we are fortunate right now. I feel like we kind of talked about this before. Like, we're just entering the season of kid mornings and figuring that out. And, we're fortunate as of right now that Nathan really has no idea what, like, day it is or any idea of time, except for when dinner time is and bedtime is. Well,
but he knows holidays because he's talked about Santa all year since last year. And every time we walk down to the park now, the same houses that we stopped at for trick-or-treating, he wants to go back and trick-or-treat.
Yes. He's slowly getting the concept of it. And I mean, even he likes looking at the neighbors blow up Santa.
Yeah.
And understands that. But he doesn't understand like, oh, Christmas is in whatever it is, 5 weeks. I mean, to him, Christmas could be...
I don't understand that.
Christmas could be tomorrow.
I don't understand that.
We're new to that. So that'll be interesting to see how these lessons evolve when he does understand time.
Yeah.
And schedules. And Santa comes on Christmas morning. So that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having him looking forward to something will be cool. Mm-hmm. Instead of him just being confused for the first 2 hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Just like on his birthday, he was like, is this happening tomorrow? Because this is awesome.
It did.
And then a big letdown.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you have?
Oh, this is probably my number one, is list out, talk out what's important to you. Like what events are important, what activities you want to do that are important to you. That way there's an expectation of like, I understand, this is a day you're coming off of work or maybe being out late the day before you go to work, but it's something that's important for, either you or I to attend or go to or be a part of.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of my number one for the holiday season, is just kind of listing out expectations. So not that necessarily like feelings are hurt, but then you kind of just understand how this, like what the season looks like, or how to manage your time. If it is something that's maybe going to be prior to the day you're going, like, the day before you go to work, okay, I have this Christmas party I want you to come to. It starts at, 7. It goes till whenever, but let's go. We can leave by 10. You can be in bed and asleep by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there's like that expectation of like, hey, this is important to me. I need you to be there, and I need you to be present and happy.
Yeah.
And ready to party.
Be happy. It's only happened a few times though, where we've had to go to work stuff for you, or I've only been to a few Christmas parties for my stuff.
Well, yeah, but you guys always do like your Christmas parties in like January.
Yeah,
like
we
it's
do
never
holiday parties.
Yeah, it's never like
very respectful.
Yes, all encompassing. But your stuff is always like after the fact.
Yeah, it does help because it is helpful. It's helpful for me too because I can give you my expectations of things. Of like, yeah, we can go to this party. No, I'm not going to be happy.
I just want to pause for a second because the last time they actually took you to a work Christmas party, mm-hmm. you actually knew someone there and you two stood in the corner like all night long talking and drinking and you had the best time. So yapping it up the whole night.
That's an anomaly.
I had to actually ask you if you were ready to leave the party.
That's an anomaly. What are the chances of that happening? The guy I worked with in another department.
I'm just saying, that's the last time I took you to a work party and you had the best time.
Well,
and it was the day after you worked.
What does that mean?
I gotta leave you at home.
Get back to work. Take me to more parties. What? Oh. Yeah. Anyways, communication's important. Trying to spit out your wine while you laugh at that one. Was that all your list?
That was it. Those are my only 3. I didn't really have a long list.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're entering a whole new season. So if anyone has any insight onto this new season of dealing with kids in the holidays, as far as expectations and all of it.
I gotta say, I've become more. Your family's never been an issue. My family wasn't, except for last year. It was just kind of like a little tense when we were deciding not to go out there and hang out with everybody.
I think it was tense because we just felt like, why aren't we doing this? And
I know it's such a confusing thing.
It was just different perspectives.
Yeah. I've definitely become, since we've had them, I've become more secure. I've always felt like I don't want to do this, but I've always been like, that's fine, I'll just do it. But with them now, I'll be like, we're not doing that. Like, I don't have any interest in that, and me and Nathan are going to go somewhere else or stay here, or I'll come up with an alternative. And I'm much more willing to make my expectations known since having them.
Yeah.
Of like, no, it's not a good idea, or no, I don't want to get them in that situation, or.
But I feel like those situations haven't even been that big yet.
No, not yet. Mm-mm. Not yet. We're mostly both on the same page too. Of like, we've never been big going outer people, so given the opportunity of going out to a bar just on a random Tuesday or staying home.
Yeah. Stay home.
Staying home. Or staying home. So it's not like we're constantly making decisions whether to go to watch a concert or something like that, or go to a movie. Like, nah.
Go to a movie. Who goes to a movie anymore? I still want to know how movie theaters are going to stay in business.
I don't know. Don't ask me, because we didn't see a movie since they killed Superman, surprisingly.
I really wanted warning about that.
Blew my mind. All right, anything else for holiday stuff?
No, those are my only three biggies that I feel like we've kind of not mastered, but we've kind of learned.
We're getting more comfortable doing those things.
I think we're being more comfortable saying, like you just said, no.
Yeah.
No is a good word these days.
Yeah. Unless it's Nathan saying no. Which is constant.
Well, you taught him that.
I know.
You go downstairs. You go away.
You go that way. All right. Well, no need to drag it out then. If you guys need anything else, reach out. fourthshiftfit@gmail.com. Fourth Shift Fitness on all social media. Feel free to chime in with parenting advice that I won't pay attention to, but Katie will write down diligently. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Happy holidays. Talk to you. Have a good turkey day and whatnot. And be a fourth shifter. Bye-bye.